Good morning, everybody. It's your friend and brother Derek Day with your everyday encouragement. And today is Freedom Friday. And, some people get excited about Friday and they say, thank God it's Friday. But listen, Friday is no greater than Monday. I mean, if you learn to love your Mondays, the rest of the week is a cakewalk. But I want to give you some inspiration today because one of the things that I remember as a child, they used to have all of these cool PSAs, public service announcements, and there was this one about it's nice to share. It is nice to share. And it's one of those things that resonated with me because, I went through a phase in my life where I became very capitalistic and materialistic, and I was like, I got mine, you get yours. But that's not the way I see things now because I see things through the lens of Jesus. When you see things through the lens of Jesus, you realize that it is not just good to share, but it's imperative. It's imperative. See, God loved us so much that he shared himself with us in flesh. You got to catch that. So when we share, we are exhibiting the greatest freedom that God can give us because it means that we are not bound to our stuff. We are not bound to our thoughts. We are not bound to our words. And in other words, we stop hoarding. We stop hoarding. We stop being containers and become conduits. We're instead of hoarding all of the blessings that God gives us, we flow through them. Listen, when they built the pipeline from Alaska to the lower 48, the oil began to flow through there to the various distribution centers in the lower 48 of the United States. But here's the thing, that even when the oil stops flowing, there is a residue that stays on the pipes that helps to keep them lubricated and prevent them from rusting. No matter what, even when you're flowing a blessing through, when God has blessed you and he's blessing you and the blessing is flowing through you, just because you are the channel that he uses to get that blessing to someone, there is a residual of that blessing that stays with you. Now, that being said, I want to talk because it's Freedom Friday. And the one big thing that I want you to understand is that we need to share this freedom. God did not give us salvation in order to keep us bound. This is so important because you're not supposed to be bound to the law, bound to religion, bound to anything. You're free. You are completely free. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, that unless you're free to sin, you're not free from sin. And likewise, if you're not free to religion, then you're not free from religion. The thing is that you have to understand that these things, both sin and religion, are harmful. They are things that will kill you. They will make you sick. They will take away from your life. So you don't want to mess with those things, but you're free to if you want to. The other thing is that when we're sharing liberty, we're helping others to get free of various bondages. There are people that are in bondage to various sins that, pornography and addiction to drugs and alcoholism and things like that. And when we share liberty with them, they get the yokes destroyed over those things. But even greater, you get a freedom from religion, you get a freedom from rules, and you get a freedom from all of this structure that says that I'm free to think, I'm free to speak, and I'm free. Watch this. We are free to speak life. And similarly, we are free to speak death. God doesn't restrain our speech. He doesn't restrain our thoughts. But we do, based on the results that we hope to attain. So in being completely free, use your freedom to liberate others. One of the things that it was one of these things that hit me and was so profound is that a slave who loves slavery desires that everyone remain in bondage. In other words, if the person is in bondage and he hasn't had a revelation of liberty, all he knows is slavery, and he wants everyone else to share in his misery. Why? Because misery loves company. So that's what I have for you today. Share this amazing liberty that comes from the revelation of God's unconditional love and unlimited grace. Share it with everybody. Share it, man, call somebody and let them know God loves them. Let them know that God has extended his power and his favor toward them. Let them know. Tell someone, if you're in the line at the DMV today, tell someone that God loves them and tell someone that God has made them free. I promise you that once somebody hears that, and honestly, this is one of these messages that in most churches they're not going to hear. But if you share this with them, it will change their life. And guess what? Because you've shared that liberty and you've walked out in boldness, it changes your life too. And that's what I have for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up at www.derekday.com on the contact page or at www.facebook.com/Derek Day Ministries. And you can reach me on Instagram or Twitter. My handle is Derek E. Day. That's DERRICKEDAY. You can catch the videos on YouTube on the channel that's called Derek Day, real simple. And also the Agape Dominion podcast, which you will find on iTunes and Google Play. Also, if you happen to be free at about 7 p.m. Eastern Time today, I will be teaching on the 3 Chord Strand conference call and simulcasting this on Facebook Live. And I have an awesome topic today. It's called Frankenchurch. Frankenchurch. Like Frankenstein, Frankenchurch. And I'm going to tell you, you got to be careful. Grab your torches and pitchforks because Frankenchurch is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's almost ubiquitous, but we're going to destroy that monster. Amen? So that's what I have for you today. God loves you, and so do I. I hope you have a fabulously fantastic Friday. Stay blessed.